What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Comically Boston Monday morning weekly nerdy news podcast. I'm your host, Big Cam, and today is February 10th, and yesterday was the Super Bowl. And today we're going to be covering what happened at the Super Bowl, the trailers, although there wasn't too many of them. We're also going to be covering the winners from the Critics' Choice Awards that happened last week. There's some news about The Last of Us Season 2, Captain America Brave New Worlds coming up this week. That comes out Valentine's Day, this Friday. I have tickets already to go Thursday, the 13th. So have you already purchased your tickets? Quite a few people have. I'm very excited for this movie, so we'll talk maybe predictions of this movie towards the end, but let's get right on into it, shall we? So yesterday also was the Puppy Bowl, and we expected maybe a Super Bowl trailer for Superman, maybe some further news about Superman, but we were wrong. The Puppy Bowl's MVP was the Crypto Award, and James Gunn was there with his dog Ozu that inspired Crypto, and really all that came out for Superman was this poster for Crypto, and I mean, it's cute. A lot of people were like, this looks so bad. I mean, people just like to hate on things. I'm indifferent towards this poster. I mean, the doggo looks cute, but the actual poster itself, the yellow, the Crypto, the city in the background, who cares? I'm just waiting for this movie. Some people are just like, oh my god, this poster's so bad, I'm not going to watch this movie. If you're that petty and that something that little is going to make you not go see this movie, just don't go see it in the first place, because we don't care about your opinion anyways. The people that actually care and like this stuff will talk about it, and we want to talk about it with other people that care and like this stuff. Frankly, I don't give a damn if you don't like something. That's boring. I don't care. If you don't like something and you have critiques, that's one thing. But if you're just hating something just to hate on it and it hasn't even come out yet, you're just a bitter, hateful person, and no one likes you anyways. But moving on to the Super Bowl, the halftime show that Kendrick Lamar put on was something else. My favorite part, though, was that Samuel L. Jackson was Uncle Sam. And, I was just sitting there talking to my roommate while we were watching it, just going, yeah, who's the one actor in the world that just perfectly, without a doubt, isn't going to fuck up his lines on live television? And Samuel L. Jackson just kills it. Put in Kendrick Lamar, I mean, what a performance. I'm like, when you think of rap, you don't necessarily think of rappers doing dances or making the choreography of the show important, right? Where a Beyonce or a Taylor or somebody like that might, a Dua Lipa, a Sabrina Carpenter might have dancers in a dance routine mixed into it, costume changes. Kendrick had a performance laid out. How was the audience in the arena going to experience this, on top of how are we experiencing it through the camera at home? He played all the bangers, then ended with the banger of bangers, had just won 5 Grammys, including a Grammy for that song. Just absolutely 195 countries, billions of people all over the world just witnessed Kendrick Lamar roast Drake on live TV, and he put on a friggin' show and a half at that halftime, and I really, lots of credit to Kendrick. That shit was a banger. That shit was crazy. As far as trailers or in commercials go for the Super Bowl, there was a couple of them. The weird ones like that. I remember the Flesh cowboy hat. I mean, I don't remember whose commercial that was. I just remember the weirdness of the Flesh cowboy hat. And there was a couple other ones, but there was one little trailer that was Super Bowl oriented, and that was the live action Lilo and Stitch. It was the only one that I saw a commercial that was directly made for the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And incorporated football into it. Right? They could have just shown us more footage from this Lilo and Stitch movie that's coming out in May. But instead they showed us Stitch running onto the field and dodging security guards and driving a golf cart, unnecessary cuteness on the field. Yeah, I loved the Lilo and Stitch when I was a kid, and the live action seems like it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure. I mean, Stitch looks good, but the rest of the people, I'm not sure, will look weird or out of place or not. Who knows? But if you're a child and you haven't seen Lilo and Stitch, or if you're an adult and you have kids that haven't seen it, maybe this is a way that you get them to see something from your childhood, but a newer version, you know what I mean? And hopefully the live action holds up to that older version. There was also a trailer for the Thunderbolts that came out, and a bunch of new posters. This comes out in May, before Fantastic Four in July, so this is the movie in between Captain America and Fantastic Four. And honestly, I'm really excited for this movie, where you can see the Sentry logo in the middle there, and each of the members of the Thunderbolts are each in the asterisk, which we still don't know what that asterisk means, but comment below, what are your excitement levels for the Thunderbolts? And don't worry, the trailer breakdown, I was going to have that come out today, but why not just have it come out tomorrow morning and have a full day dedicated to editing and making that video. So Thunderbolts tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Stay tuned for that. Coming up pretty soon though in March, the Oscars is right around the corner, hosted by Conan O'Brien, and this will be on Hulu, streaming live in ABC. I'm not sure if Conan's going to be a good host or not. I think he might be a little bit risky, because this guy doesn't have a live TV show anymore. Like, what are you going to do? Fire him from the Oscars? He doesn't care. Like, what is he? He's got his own stuff to go back on. He's the owner of his podcast and his YouTube channel, right? Like, you can't fire him from that. You can't cancel him like that, really, when you're your own boss. I mean, you can stop watching his stuff, but I don't know. But the Oscars nominations have come out. There's some of them that are very interesting and some of them that are just like snubs and whatnot. But it all comes down to who wins the awards on that night. So March 2nd, right around the corner, I will be checking that out. Stay tuned for that video Monday, March 3rd, where we'll be breaking down all the winners from Oscar night. Over the weekend, Love Hurts came out in the theater with Ariana DeBose and Ke Huy Quan starring, and also Marshawn Lynch is in there, which is funny. But this is in theaters, and I thought it looked good and cute and funny. And apparently there's a Goonies reunion in here with Sean Astin, which is Samwise Gamgee from The Lord of the Rings, if you guys don't know. But he was also the leader of the team in the Goonies. He was Michael in the Goonies? I don't know. I remember his name. I just saw that recently, though. Goonies is fucking tremendous, and Key was obviously Data, and just the fact that all these years later, what is that, 40 years later, they're doing Love Hurts, like, that's just cool. And it's cool that Ke Huy Quan is in a role like this starring, and not just, you know, a background actor or a supporting actor. He's the lead of the show, and I really was going to see this movie over the weekend, but we ended up getting sidetracked and just didn't end up getting over there, and then it snowed real bad on Saturday night into Sunday, and then Sunday was Super Bowl, so we didn't get over there. But unfortunately, the critic score for Love Hurts is at 19% with 113 views, which is not a good score. But the audience score is sitting around 70%, 67%, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but for an under 90-minute movie to have a 19% critic score, I mean, either the critics are just being extra hard on this, or it's just a bad movie. But maybe this should have been more of a streamer rather than into theaters. I mean, if it came out on Prime, I probably would have watched it over the weekend, you know what I mean? I would have been home, I would have been able to check it out, but I still want to check that out. I think people should support this type of movie if you want to see people like Ke Huy Quan starring in movie roles, like in showing the world that this guy is a star, because he is. But I don't know if this was the proper type of movie. I don't know. It's kind of rom-com-y, kind of action-heavy, rated R, right? So I don't know what this movie's really about either, right? From just the couple of trailers that I saw, I wanted to see it, but I'm pretty much going into that movie blind and just going for Ke Huy Quan and Marshawn Lynch and Ariana DeBose, you know? Like, I like those actors, you know? I'm going in blind and I like movies, so I'm probably going to like it, but if you've seen Love Hurts, comment below. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What's your thoughts? Empire has been releasing some exclusive images. This is a Daredevil exclusive image of that red suit coming up from our Daredevil Born Again series coming up here in March. Very excited for that. I'm still doing my Daredevil rewatch right now, getting prepared to do some rewatch videos, either breaking down each of them as the season goes and doing, you know, 13 videos per season, 3 seasons. That's a lot of videos to get done by March, so I might end up doing season by season recaps and like longer form videos, but comment below. Would you be interested in seeing some more Daredevil content? One of the other trailers from the Super Bowl was Mission Impossible 9, I believe it is. it is called Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. It was originally supposed to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2, but Final Reckoning should be, I guess, the final Mission Impossible movie, because Tommy Cruise is getting up there in age, and he's clearly got a death wish, because he's just hanging off of a plane by his wrist grip. Like, what if the gloves slip? Where's the parachute? Like, what are we doing here if this guy just slips and dies? Oh, Tom Cruise died the other day, sorry. What? You know, like, come on. That's crazy. There was also this image from Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise kind of embracing Haley Atwell's character, and I really liked Haley Atwell from the most recent movie, or one of the last 2 recent movies. But Rebecca Ferguson's character, I really wanted to come back, but I don't know if she will. But Haley Atwell is freaking gorgeous, so I'm very glad that she's still back in this final movie. It looks interesting. A lot of people didn't necessarily love Dead Reckoning Part 1. I saw it in theaters, and I thought it was pretty damn good. I mean, Tom Cruise just knows how to put on an entertaining movie and do stunts and just make shit crazy. You know what I mean? It's entertaining for sure. Is it good? Who's to tell? Now, entertainment exclusive images, we see some first looks here at the WLF Seattle gang from The Last of Us Season 2 in Last of Us Part 2 the game. And we see Abby and Owen and I forget the rest of their names. Manny, Kara, maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I played that side of the game where you play as Abby and you learn their names. I mean, obviously I know Joel, Ellie, you know, like Shimmer, her horse, Dina. You know, I like our people from Jackson, Wyoming, rather than Abby's side of things at first. But as I play the games more and more, Abby has just grown on me, and actually playing as Abby feels like Joel, you know, like it's a weird game how much you're into it and love it, even though like terrible things are happening, you know what I mean? Like Last of Us is a special game. But here's a first look at Bella Ramsey's Ellie talking to young Mazzino, who's going to be playing Jesse in this game. Jesse's a phenomenal character from the game. He's going to be playing Jesse in the show, and I cannot wait for this. Here's another shot of Pedro Pascal as Joel. I believe this is from the therapy session he's having with Catherine O'Hara's character. Here's a shot of Ellie and Dina riding horses. Maybe they're setting out to go on like the first mission of the game, where they're doing like a scouting mission. They have to like go to different posts and see what, you know, the activity of the walkers or stalkers or, you know, the infected are. Very interesting here. Here's a shot of Tommy and Maria in the show, and in the game, Tommy and Maria, we don't really explore their relationship so much, and we definitely don't ever see them have kids. So very interesting that they added Tommy having a child in this. And this could make Tommy's choices towards the end of the second game very, very interesting, because now he's not just, you know, leaving Maria, he's got a kid he's also got to think about too, right? Like, and Maria in the game was a white lady, and I love just these are little Craig Mazin touches, just little like, hey, remember Henry and Sam from season 1? What if Sam was deaf? Oh man, and then there's Neil Druckmann, the creator of The Last of Us, just going, oh, why didn't I think of that? Jesus, like Craig Mazin is a piece to this project that you wouldn't believe how valuable he is. And like, I'm not in the writer's room, so I don't know, you know, if I'm correct or not, but I have a feeling that this guy loves the games and the story so much that he's not willing to change the story, you know, fundamentally, but he's willing to just add to it, right? And just be like, listen, changing Maria to a black character and making her and Tommy have a kid doesn't do anything to change what those characters are from the game, really. All it does is add an extra element to the show, right? Because the show has to be different from the game, because the game, you're playing as these characters versus watching these characters unfold the scenario, right? So it's a different medium, so you need to be geared more towards a television show rather than just a game, right? Like, there's different dynamics going on here. But The Last of Us Season 2 comes out April of 2025, and I can't wait to get more trailers from this, but this looks so good. and I believe, is that Danny Ramirez playing Manny? Oh man, if it is Danny Ramirez, he's going to be playing Falcon in the new Captain America movie coming up, and I like him as that character. I think that's going to be funny. The Fantastic Four came out with a trailer last week, and this was a Boss Logic poster just of the Silver Surfer standing on Galactus' shoulder as he passes through the New York City skyline in front of the Statue of Liberty. And I was just like, oh, is this a legit poster? And then I saw it was Boss Logic, so it's a fan-made art poster, but damn, it looks good. I can't wait to see what Galactus is really looking like in July for the Fantastic Four. And it's like a 60s setting Fantastic Four, so it's wild. From that trailer, though, I will say the Flame On clip of Joseph Quinn ending up as Johnny Storm, we see his little first flight on fire. I really do like how that looks. That looks really great. The Ebon Moss-Bachrach Ben Grimm looks fantastic as they cut over to then the Rock version of him. And it's like, oh man, the editing in this trailer was so good. The Thing looks so good. I'm going to fall for Ben Grimm so hard in this movie, especially because I love Ebon Moss-Bachrach. But Jesus Christ, that movie's going to be fantastic. Comment below your thoughts on the Fantastic Four trailer if you haven't seen it already. Breakdown is out on the channel now. The Critics' Choice Awards was about a week ago, and Rachel Brosnahan, aka the new Lois Lane in the new Superman movie, she is the baddie of the week. I haven't done these a whole lot, and I think this might be the first one of 2025, but Rachel Brosnahan, the baddie of the week, because she looked so goddamn gorgeous. I don't know whether it's the outfit or the blue eyes, the hair, the face, just serving face card, like, ooh, Rachel Brosnahan. I can't wait for her to absolutely melt my heart and soul as Lois Lane and as Superman's love interest. I can't wait to see what James Gunn does with those characters. But as far as the winners go, Best Animated Series went to X-Men 97. You love to see that. That show definitely deserves some props. Best Comedy Movie went to Deadpool and Wolverine, and it also went to A Real Pain, that movie with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. So who won Best Comedy? I guess both of them. I think they just gave it to Deadpool and Wolverine because it made $1 billion. Maybe. Gotta give that some award. But they also gave it off screen, I think, so, it is what it is. On screen, they gave Colin Farrell Best Performance for the Penguin. Obviously, Oz Cobb was phenomenal. Getting in, just the fact this image is Colin Farrell is insanity, right? Like stuffed in and buried underneath all that makeup. But at the Golden Globes, he also won. But Kristen Milioti did not win for Best Supporting Actress, but she did win the Critics' Choice Award for Sophia Falcone for her role in The Penguin. And that's so worthy, because Kristen Milioti crushed it as Sophia Falcone. So glad to see her win a Critics' Choice Award. Demi Moore also won for her performance in The Substance. Crazy movie, if you haven't seen that. She won Best Actress. And it's honestly a shame that Best Supporting Actress isn't going to Margaret Qualley, because I thought she did a phenomenal job as Sue in The Substance. I think the both of them should be getting some awards if this movie's winning, you know what I mean? But if they're going to give it to one person, Demi Moore definitely deserves it, and Margaret Qualley's still very young and going to have a very promising career ahead of her. So, I can see why they only are giving it to Demi, but, I think Margaret deserves some props too. Crazy Best Picture win. I didn't see this one coming at all. I thought so many other things would have won this at the Critics' Choice Awards, but Anora won, and now this made me want to see this even more. Like, I've been wanting to see this just because of the Mikey Madsen of it all, and everyone saying that it's great and you should check it out, right? Like, but now it's winning Best Picture Award, and like Mikey Madsen, like, come on, serving face and body and everything else. I'm sure Anora is phenomenal, so I gotta check that out. But just end today's show, the Captain America Brave New World predictions. I'm predicting that Red Hulk beats the living Christ out of Captain America, right? Like, and I do like this poster. This poster is pretty sweet. The Captain America Brave New World. The future favors the brave, and it's like all red, and it's kind of also like a center of a bullseye, or like a reticle, like a sniper. You know what I mean? But you'll see the wings outstretched of Captain America there, Sam Wilson. Very, very excited to see what's going to happen here with Anthony Mackie's Captain America, and apparently we have confirmed that this is going to be the first movie we see Adamantium, and apparently Tiamat and Eternals, and I'm predicting, but you know, the screen says Adamantium, so we're definitely getting Adamantium. But obviously Adamantium, most people know as what Wolverine's claws are made out of, but we're not at that point yet, so maybe this is setting the grounds for what eventually will become the Adamantium that makes Wolverine's claws. But for now, it's just the most, you know, versatile resource element on the planet that everyone's trying to get their hands on. The Chinese, us Americans, the president wants the Avengers to go in and get it. Who should get it though, right? Like, that's going to be the question. But it's very cool that they're bringing this into the MCU and not feeling the need to be like, oh, Adamantium, but also Wolverine, X-Men. It's like, no, not really. There is this image of the leader, and you can kind of see his green hand as he's got like this Uncle Sam giant top hat on, and he's walking through a crowd, and you can see the guy to the left of him that he's like putting his green hand on. It's kind of like, ugh, don't touch me with that green hand. But will he have a giant head, or will it be lumpy? I don't know, but this Captain America Brave New World, I'm very excited for it. I can't wait to see it Thursday with Langone, but also I am so full and so filled to be watching the Thunderbolts trailer right after this, and that video comes out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!